A video? In daylight? It's more likely than you think. Hey sis, welcome back to my bed. This is where I sleep and do absolutely nothing else. Mom, I'm on my bed today because I have the apartment to myself. My roommate is gone, our dog is gone, and I am here alone. It is time to make content. I'm gonna do Get Ready With Me because I don't have makeup on. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I should do homework, but I'm probably gonna put it off till tomorrow, like a naughty little business school student. And I wanna take a walk, but it's 90 degrees in Boston right now. By the way, speaking of, if you hear a little hum in the background, I have a fan next to me because if I didn't, I wouldn't be a physical person. I would be a puddle. But I got you on my windowsill. We got the natural light. I got my Officer Jenny from Pokemon hairstyle going. Let's put some stuff on our face. I'm literally sitting near motionless and I'm already sweating. I love summer. Every day, now that we're marching into the hotter months, I think about that time on the Half Cousins podcast. My friends Georgia, Lacey, Abby, and Hannah yelled at me because I was the only one in the group who said I preferred hot weather to cold weather. And now I'm beginning to understand why they were not vibing with what I said, because this is whack. I'm gonna do something neutral today, and this is the reason why. Last night, I was watching Lauren May Beauty's Declutter series, and in one of them, she was going through all her magnetic palettes, really getting down into those little eyeshadow singles and gauging what needed to be kept and didn't need to be kept. And this is something that I have been stressing about in my own makeup collection for a while. I'm moving in about 2 months and I want to have less when I move. And that requires me to actually go through and declutter some of my makeup. This seems like I'm gonna say that I'm gonna make a video where I go through my single shadows and declutter them. I'm not, I already did that, I filmed none of it. I'm sorry. The moment struck me. I paused Lauren's video, I got on my magnetic palettes and I just got in there. And I had to be real with myself because I don't really be using single shadows. And I came to the realization that people are either single shadow people or palette people. It's hard to strike a balance between them. I myself am a curated palette person. I like single shadows and I have quite a few of them. Less now, but I neglect them literally constantly. I never go into my Z palettes. They were literally collecting dust on my windowsill. I had to make some hard choices and I apologize for not recording any of those hard choices, but I did make one Instagram post about it. Because that's the same thing, right? But one of the things I'm excited about was I did some revamping of one of my smaller magnetic palettes and I took all of my like brown, bronzy, gold, and purple single shadows that I wanted to use more and I put them all together. So now I have this sort of like smoky purple, kind of smoky quartz palette and I'm really jazzed about it. So I'm gonna give you a brief little tour of this palette because it is kind of new to me. You know when you like go through your clothes and you find that one blouse you haven't worn for a couple months and then you just start like getting real excited about wearing it because it feels new? That's what this is like. These two up here are two Franken shadows I made last summer when I was moving then, largely out of shadows I decluttered from the BH Cosmetics Solar Flare palette. This is that purple and this is that sandy bronze. I really love these. And I do wear these quite a bit because these have been in this palette for a while. The reason this palette is so readily available to me is because of this shade, this medium brown down here, is just the matte brown that's functionally the same color as my skin that I use to dust on my lower lash line after I put on mascara because I don't like how my lower lash line looks with mascara on. And in doing that, I mute out the black of the mascara without having to actually remove it from my lower lash line. This one is, I think, gonna be one of the ones we're gonna use today. This one and where is she? This one were two shades from the BH Cosmetics Solar Flare palette that I chose to save last summer that I then proceeded to literally never touch the entire time I lived in this apartment, which is a problem. I got rid of every single other shadow from the Solar Flare palette and just kept these two. And these are the ones that I'm gonna really make myself use. This one. I don't really know how to describe this color. I almost decluttered it and then I was like, I could actually maybe make something sort of soft and romantic with that. It's like very, very similar to my skin. It's like if my skin had a very small amount of like rosy sheen to it. I'm kind of into how nothing it is. The look I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna put like a medium brown in my crease, this on my lid, and a winged eye. It's gonna be super boring and you're gonna regret watching this video. Actually, I don't apologize. I did a fun, bright look for my last video. I looked like a sexy little pickle and we all loved it. We all had a great time. So this time we're going to the other end of the spectrum, we're going neutral. This is real pretty. Baked eyeshadows just always kind of hit different in the way that they look. Like they're real they're just like lovely. I like how I put on my chunkiest bracelet imaginable for this video where I know I was gonna be swatching. That was really smart on my end. Ooh, you see that? I love when bronze eyeshadows sort of catch the light and then part of it's in shadow and you can really see that dimension. That's lovely. And actually, I almost decluttered this one. I got to a point where I had everything decluttered, I had everything consolidated the way I wanted it, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of space, I can save one shadow that I've already removed from the pile. And I chose to save this one, and oh my god, that swatch that I just did has corroborated in my brain that that was the right move. This gold one up here, I cannot tell you what this was originally from. This was a gift from Georgia Harris. She sent me a magnetic palette full of single shadows a year and a half ago, I believe. I'm gonna have to ask her what it is because I don't know, and I don't know if she would know since she hasn't had it for over a year. This is gonna be a real chunky swatch. Oh my god, that just made, ooh. Oh. Look at her catch that light. This might have to be the inner corner highlight today. It might add a little bit too much bling to the look. It's so reflective. I love that so much. Sometimes you just find treasures in your own collection. It's a very fun time. Let's move on to here. This is one of the shades from the ColourPop Make Up Your Mind palette, which I think has been discontinued now. And I actually had decluttered the rest of the shades with the exclusion of the silver, obviously, for several months. But this one is a blue, purple, brown duochrome that you can kind of see. There we go. When it hits the light, you can see a little bit of that like blue shimmer in there. This I used to wear alone on the lid with a little bit of mascara and I'd be out the door. Fall 2018, I was wearing this every single day and I just moved on from it, but this one actually has gotten a lot of use, so I don't feel as bad about this one. The one next to it is this ancient shadow that I've had easily since 2017, maybe? God. It was from this old, long discontinued BH Cosmetics palette that I got as a gift with purchase way back when I was doing a BH Cosmetics order like every month, a dark era of my life that now I realize was just a manifestation of me being in a depressive episode as a result of my terrible teaching job at that middle school. And I was filling the void by ordering makeup, cheap makeup, near constantly, which I don't do anymore, thankfully, for both myself, my collection, my credibility as a semi-anti-consumerist YouTuber, and my checking account. Okay. And I don't wear this very often, but it is this really cool, like blackened bronze, and I don't have anything else like it, which I know YouTubers say all the time. I don't have anything else like this in my collection. Meanwhile, they're like pushing a stack of identical other makeup products out of the way so you can't see it. But I'm being real. I don't think I have anything else like it in my collection. Let me just like me. Okay. All right. There was a half second where I was like, is this the same color as Dofa from the Smoky Glow palette? It's not, but now that we brought up Dofa, I have to swatch her. This is the Smoky Glow and Midas Cosmetics palette. We're going to swatch Dofa. Oh, shut up, Hannah. What? I've never met Smoky Glow in person just because of circumstance, but when I do, I'm going to fight her because of this shade. Hannah, square up. And if Charles and Oliver want the smoke too, these hands are rated E for everyone. I'm literally going to cancel Hannah Smoky Glow for making a palette that includes an eyeshadow that is that pretty. She's an enemy of mine now. Okay. And then the last one is a JD Glow shadow. This is a JD Glow multi-chrome shadow. The shade is called A Lot. And let me see if I can hit the angle to really like give you that shift. Do you see when I kind of, there's like that redness there? It's hard to capture the shift. It's a pretty subtle multi-chrome, but it's really beautiful. Maybe the fingertip swatch might give us a little bit more clarity. Okay, if I bend my finger back. Oh, yes. Yes. I just realized something. You guys know the Melt Cosmetics She's in Parties palette based off of the Melt Cosmetics She's in Parties stack? Dude, I was considering buying the She's in Parties palette, but I feel like I have that vibe already with this palette I made yesterday. Rad! Oh my god, that's so cool. I didn't even realize that I had done that. I literally have the mind of a mastermind. That's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna wash off my arm and then I'm gonna start putting makeup on. Don't go anywhere. I'll know. I'm in your house right now. Turn around. Just kidding. Bye. Full disclosure, I haven't washed my makeup brushes in long enough that even though I'm going for a neutral look, in one of these brushes, there might be some random ancient burst of like purple or green or black eyeshadow that I just didn't know was in there. because I'm lazy and disgusting. I guess I'm gonna start with a little bit of primer, even though honestly, sometimes when I do really neutral looks, I forego primer entirely. But I'm trying to get acquainted with this primer from Kaleidos that they recently sent me, so I'm going to use some today. This is the Tone Activator primer that you only need a whisper of, and the applicator always spurts out way too much. So like this little dewdrop on my fingertip is too much. I also find that this is like an annoying primer because it dries really quickly, so you kind of have to do one eye at a time, which is how some people do eye makeup anyway, but I tend to like match my steps on both of my eyes as I'm going, rather than doing one eye in its entirety and then moving on to the next one. So there's a little bit of a learning curve with this, I would say. So on the topic of PR, I kind of want to not get PR anymore. It results in so much additional makeup coming into my collection that I don't necessarily want or haven't like emotionally budgeted for. Like, it's one thing when I want a makeup product and then I buy it for myself and I've fulfilled that want. But with PR, there wasn't a want. It's just a thing that I was given the opportunity to get, and everyone likes getting presents in the mail, so I say yes and then I get it, and it's like, okay, now I have to figure out how this is going to fit into my collection when I wasn't sort of training myself to think that before. I'm gonna go into the shade Vote right in the center, which is just like a medium brown. Build up my crease and brow bone a little bit. I don't get very much PR for a creator my size, and that's perfectly fine with me. I think the only brand whose PR list I'm on, meaning I get everything that they launch, is maybe Kaleidos. But there have been a couple Kaleidos releases that I haven't gotten. Like, I didn't get the volume 2 of the Futurism palettes, the VR Neon and the other one, which I'm actually fine with because I was already overwhelmed enough trying to fit like the 3 Futurism palettes into my life, the original ones. I didn't need 2 additional ones. I don't like having a super huge makeup collection, and I don't have a super huge makeup collection by YouTube standards, but I do have a super huge makeup collection by regular person standards. And there have been times where I've like heard my YouTube friends talk about being on someone's PR list, and I felt sort of a pang of jealousy. And then I thought about it for a second and I was like, no, I don't want to have makeup coming in every single week. For my own tastes, that's overwhelming for me. So I've kind of been like ghosting brands, kind of. Whenever like brands I haven't worked with before email me now, I haven't really been saying anything back. I don't know, I'm not interested in, because like here's the thing, I'm not of a size where brands are asking to sponsor me. I'm kind of still small enough that brands largely just ask to send me stuff out of the hopes that I will talk about it, but there's not contracts, they're not offering me money. That has happened once or twice, and I almost did accept a sponsorship from a an intimate toy accessory company because I'd been interested in trying that product anyway. Mom, it is a neck massager, just so you know. And then like I was about to send them stuff, and immediately afterwards we all went into quarantine and I forgot about it, and that was months ago at this point. So I'm assuming they don't want to work with me anymore, and that's fine, because I'm perfectly capable of buying those things for myself. Trust me. If you... Nope. I could have 5 OnlyFans by now if I really put my mind to it. If I were getting sponsorship offers and it was like a real money thing, maybe I would have a different attitude, maybe my tune would be different, but at this point the only thing I'm really saying no to is like free stuff that I didn't want in the first place by and large. And I'd rather just buy stuff myself, honestly, which sounds really entitled, and it's like, how dare you say no to free stuff, but it's like easily. Like this. I don't know, I haven't like totally made up my mind about it. I don't know if I'm going to like permanently stop doing it, so if like you see me accept it in the future, it's not like me lying, it's just, I changed my mind. I don't know. I feel like you're not allowed to change your mind on the internet. People get kind of mad at you if you change your mind, which I guess makes sense because like you said this one thing and I thought that that was like the definitive thoughts you had about this thing, and now you're saying something else, and it's like, yeah, I changed my mind. That's a very normal human thing to do. On the internet, you're very much marked by your choices. The choices you make heavily feed people's impression of you, which is sort of just like a general human thing, but I feel like those impressions that people have of you are much more permanent and hard to shake on the internet, because people don't actually know you as a whole person. They know the parts of you that you've presented and what they've heard about you from other people. No one's like gotten mad at me, by the way. I'm not like referencing like a thing that happened to me. I'm just more so talking about like what I've observed from being a creator and also being a very online person. People don't often change their minds about people. And so when people change their minds, it sort of feels like they were being underhanded and like surreptitious, and they were lying before, and this was how they actually felt the whole time, and it was just a lie and an untruth, which usually it's just I feel differently than I did before. I have had new experiences since then. I'm really far away. I'm sorry. I got a little planet. What are we gonna do next? We're going to darken up the crease, and we're gonna decide if we wanna use Half Pony from the Smoky Glow palette, or if we want to switch gears and go into the itsmyrayeraye and BH Cosmetics palette and use the shade Cacao right here. You know what? I trust Cacao more than Half Pony. No offense to Half Pony, I just haven't used it very much, so I'm going to use Cacao because I don't know about you guys, but natural looks, natural eyeshadow looks are so much easier to mess up than graphic bright looks. Have you guys noticed that? I don't know. I do know why, actually, because graphic looks are graphic, right? If there's a big mess up on them, you could argue that like, well, I did that on purpose. It was intentional. It's supposed to look kind of messy. Or you can cover it up with like something else that's super graphic, and it's like, it's all graphic, you know? It's all intentional, but basic, neutral, sort of soft, romantic, soft glam looks kind of have to look a little bit more seamless, you know? It's challenging. People say that neutral stuff is boring. No, girl, neutral stuff is high level. Why do you think wedding makeup artists are so expensive? Natural, neutral beauty makeup is really hard to pull off. I'm kind of holding the brush a little bit away from my face because I want it to be sort of diffused. I'm also nervous because Cacao has pan in it, as you saw, and every time I hit pan in something, I get afraid that I'm gonna like knock it the wrong way with my brush and a huge chunk of the powder is just gonna fall out. Which I don't think has ever happened to me, but there's a first time for everything. Now we go back to this. Should I name this? Now I'm like really jazzed about the fact that this is like giving me that same vibe as She's in Parties from Melt. I'm going to look up She's in Parties just to make sure I'm not entirely off base. Okay, so these are swatches on Melt's Instagram of the She's in Parties palette. This is definitely more purple and less bronze than my palette is, but it's still giving me that vibe. And I'm satisfied with that, honestly. Well, great. I just saved myself like 50 bucks. That's awesome. Why are we coming back in here? Because we are using this BH Cosmetics Baked Shadow as our lid color because we want to go delicate, we want to go soft and romantic for no particular reason, and it's all gonna melt off my face the minute I step outside and embrace nature. But you know what? That's why nature is there. By the way, side note, do you remember how in the last video I said I'm talking to this gentleman right now? Well, I still am. This man is camping. He's on a solo camping trip in like the wilderness right now, and I am so jealous. I love camping and I love nature, and he sent me a picture of the sunset the other day, and I was like, I am going to murder you. I love forests. When there's no bugs touching me. When there's bugs, I don't. Every time I actually am camping, like I'm like, oh, I love nature, I love the woods. And then the second any sort of insect is within a meter of me, I will like take the nearest can of like deep woods and like stab it like I'm shotgunning a beer and just let it like douse me in pesticides. Like I don't want anything to touch me. I'm such a city slicker. I am gonna use a little bit of glitter glue primer because baked shadows I find can be a little flat looking without a more adhesive base. It seems kind of counterintuitive because I just said I wanted to go soft and romantic, but like not that soft and romantic. I'm not like working for Glossier here. I still have to be a little bit loud and abrasive to match my personality. I'm not bringing it all the way across my lid because I want to put some more matte dark brown here. Actually, I might go back into this palette and use Half Pony there because it's that more of a dark, cool brown than Cacao from the BH palette was. Let's get a flatter brush. Where is the one that I like? Where's my Morphe one? Oh my God, I lost it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, girl, why are you hiding? No, you stay. Hold on, I need to stop going for a second. That's a thumbnail. You know? Little bitch was hiding from me. Taking a little bit of that baked shadow and just, yeah, that's real soft looking. I was texting about this with my friend Marina a couple nights ago. I really want to make an ASMR channel. Like, thank you, cat-like reflexes, for saving my white skirt. I think I'd be really good at it. I think when I'm not shouting, I have a really nice little whisper. I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I might do it. Whomst knows? I'm glad I saved this one. This is like a very relaxing color to use. It's just like very soft and very pretty. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't violently tore through all my single shadows last night. Sometimes being violent is the answer. Yeah, that's kind of exactly what I was looking for. I love to win. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna finish out the latter outer corner of this eye by going into a very dark brown. We're gonna go into Half Pony from the Smoky Glue palette, and that's what we are gonna do. This is an ancient brush. I think I've had this brush as part of a Sonia Kashuk brush set. I bought it when I was going to college. Which was in 2012. Speaking of aging, the other day I was on Twitter and somebody posted a video of like a clip of the Jealous music video from Beyonce's Jealous music video that came out in 2013 as part of the self-titled unannounced drop, as we all know. And they were like, y'all really paid this dust 7 years ago, like saying it was underrated, which it is. But I was just like, how dare you say that the self-titled came out 7 years ago like it's nothing. 2013 was 7 years ago, which obviously I know because it's 2020 now. But like, I hadn't really thought about it. I was a sophomore in college 7 years ago. As of like May 15th, I've been out of college for more than I was in college. It's been over 4 years now since I graduated. It's a little unsettling. It's a little weird, but you know, we're dealing with it and it's fine. I actually quite like being 26. I think it's a pretty good age. I definitely feel more assured of myself now than I did when I was younger. I like understand where I'm going more. I have more of a plan for myself than I did when I was younger. I'm hotter now, both temperature-wise because it's summer, and I think I am like a better looking person now than I was when I was maybe like 21 because I'm better at taking care of myself because it matters more now because I'm older. I'm just bringing a little bit more of Half Pony over here because it was kind of light in this part of the eye and I didn't love that. I just hit myself in the forehead with my mirror. Oh, I have a mirror here! I have it on my windowsill. So I can look at myself right before I go to sleep because I'm a massive narcissist. I think what I want to do is something a little bit wild. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to find a yellow eyeshadow and I'm going to put a very, very small amount of it all along the like outer area of this look just to make it look a little bit more diffused. There happens to be a matte yellow in the BH Cosmetics palette, so we're gonna do a little bit of experimentation. This might not look good. I've done this with other yellows. Like I dipped into the pan once and then I'm just gonna like dust it along there. The way my skin is, yellow eyeshadow is really good for muting looks in areas that are too dark and making things look a little bit softer, which I think that did immediately. Like it just makes everything look a little bit softer and the browns, the edges of the browns are not quite as harsh. So that's the eyeshadow functionally finished, although I did forget to put on my inner corner highlight like I said I would. Do you remember? Did you forget? You goofball. We're gonna go into this mystery champagne gold. Look at it hit the, ooh! Natural lighting, gotta love it. I've said this in older videos, really old video. Actually, I rewatched my older videos a lot, and I found this video I made in 2017 with my best friend Ava, in which we did the doing my makeup like I did in high school thing. And I think I had maybe like 28 subscribers at the time, but I said in it a thing that I still agree with, which is I'm very good at messing up an entire look with an inner corner highlight. I'm the queen of ruining a look with an inner corner highlight. I'm very good at it. You're welcome. And I've since learned how not to do that because what I used to do is put way too much of an inner corner highlight on and like bring it all the way down, kind of halfway across past my tear duct. And it just looked kind of gaudy and too much. That I think I have learned how not to do that. in my old age. I'm excited to grow and, you know, become more self-assured as an adult. Now that I have a long-term goal that's gonna bring me past my 20s most likely, which is graduating business school, I'm less afraid of getting older because now I have well, I don't have a concrete plan, but I have more of an idea of the shape my life is gonna take. Also, I think just people in their mid-20s should do some mental work to divorce themselves from the fear of being in your 30s. We're gonna be fine. You're still gonna be you, you're still gonna be a person. It's just time. You can still enjoy life and still enjoy yourself. Listen, Evie and I, Evie is my roommate, we've been rewatching Sex and the City. We have this weird ritual with each other where every single time we order takeout, we have to watch Sex and the City. They're all in their mid-30s and they're disasters. So it's not like you have to pick yourself up and become a fully actualized human by like midnight on your 30th birthday. Life is an endless march towards the amorphous idea of who you are supposed to be. No one is supposed to be anything. You're supposed to live. Do I want to do wings? Yes, this is the Ofra Verified Liquid Liner, which is pretty new to me, but I really like it. It's a brush tip liner, and I find that it is really good at getting really fine lines. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna do one thing. Because I don't use this liner to fill in the empty space on my wings, I use a more pigmented liner. I am going to finish tightlining my lashes just so I don't have to get close to my lashes with the other liner I use, which is something I've been doing for the past couple of years because I was tired of using more liquid liners, like not brush tips, but well liners to do my eyeliner and having to pick out a bunch of dried eyeliner for my lashes so my mascara wouldn't get all clumpy. So what I do is I do kind of like an empty triangle outline when I do my wings. And I make obviously the wing part with the pen eyeliner and also tightline with the pen liner. So then the only part of it that I actually have to fill up with the goopier liner is this empty space in the middle. And that's how I've kind of avoided the whole chunky mascara eyeliner thing, because most pen liners have a thin enough consistency that they're not going to gunk up your lashes if you tightline with them, and this one very much certainly does. The other liner I'm going to use is from Essence. This is the Essence Super Precise Liner. This is a well eyeliner, and I think I've explained this a couple times before, but when I say well eyeliner, I mean it has a lid that you screw off, and there's the applicator, and this is your well of product. I call them well eyeliners. And this is actually a brush tip, which means I extra like it. I can get a little bit more delicate with it. This is a pretty fantastic eyeliner. This is the second tube of this I've owned, and I don't usually repurchase eyeliners. And then we can just like go in and fill out that space. This is kind of hard to do because the sun went behind a cloud, so my eye is kind of in shadow right now. But we'll make it work. Now we just need to put on mascara, which I'm gonna do off camera because putting on mascara is really boring. And then I'm gonna come back and do the rest of my face. We got the lashes on, let's put some cheeks on. This is from Kaleidos. They sent this to me in PR. This is the Lo-Fi Peach Duo Blusher. I, as an American, cannot say the word blusher without slipping into an accent because that's not what we call blush. This is my blusher from Kaleidos. It's my blusher, my Duo Blusher, my Peach Duo Blusher. This shade is called Punch. I like it. I'm not gonna use this highlighter. I like it, but it's just not what I'm going for today, but I do quite enjoy this blush. Sorry. It's a light enough blush that I don't really have to like pay attention where I'm putting it because it just sort of like blends in with my skin and gives me just a very slight blush. I don't need to wear that much blush because if I'm going on a walk, I'm gonna be wearing a mask, so you're not gonna be able to see it. We're all wearing masks, right? Over our nose and our mouths. Right? We're not just like holding them in our hand and like holding them over our face whenever people happen to be walking by us, which is a thing people in my neighborhood seem to think is fine, right? We're wearing them correctly the whole time we're outside, right? We're not taking them off to talk to people because they can still hear you through your mask, right? We're being responsible, huh? I didn't bring any of my highlighters under my bed. Well, that was a mistake on my end. And I just want to sing with you as we're walking home. Continuing with the soft vibes for my highlighter, I'm going to use my Glossier Night Shine in the shade Platinum Rose. Oh, I forgot to put on concealer. Whatever. Exactly. Just a little whisper. A little suggestion. For the lips, what are we gonna do? This is my Glossier Generation G lipstick. I have the shade Cake. It looks like nothing on my lips. Next up, I'm gonna take one of my Tower 28 Jelly Glosses. This is the shade Magic. It's a clear with a gold shimmer. I hate how that looks. Never mind, we're gonna do something different. The gloss kind of brings out the sort of terracotta color of it, which I don't think goes with this look very well. I'm gonna wear my Tarte Busy Girl Gloss. That's such a stupid name. Busy Gal Gloss in the shade Gingersnap. I always almost call this Busty Gal Gloss, which is perfect because it's for me. Yeah, I like that better. There's our look. Yes! So that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little get ready with me.
Quick? Ma'am, this is fully a half hour.
I'm sorry I couldn't make this into like some long-winded soliloquy about some polarizing topic like I usually do with my get ready with me's. I just don't have very much on my mental right now. No thoughts, head empty. It's so hot that I don't have thoughts.
Bars.
Is it still 90 degrees? Let's check. It's 89 degrees. Frigid. Thanks again for watching, but before you leave, I'm gonna need you to do a quick favor for me. If you could go ahead and have an amazing day for me, that would be hot. And if you would like to interact with me betwixt uploads, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at NisiPisa. I also have a second channel called Extra NisiPisa that I will link in the description where I post music and covers. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to use code NisiPisa for 10% off at checkout at your local bed store. Bye. Somebody has stopped their car like right outside my window, and I'm really glad that I chose to keep my curtains drawn, because if not, they would have been able to look directly to the left and see my goofy ass with a camera on a tripod in the window looking like a goddamn anime character.